Jace.
Hi, Chris.
How's it going?
Hi, everybody. We're good. We're the Enchanted Reading Specialists.
We're good.
Yeah.
I asked how you were, and you
Oh.
said we. Who do you have with you today?
I always have my entourage. They follow me everywhere. So
Yeah. So we're on the Conscious Couch, and we are doing one of our reflective ramblings today.
yeah, we thought it was about time that you all know how we came to work together. We get that question a lot, and we thought, oh man, we should do a rambling about that.
We should do a rambling about that.
People like to hear how we met and how we became friends and started working together and how we're able to connect. So sit back and enjoy.
You might need we're going to spill some tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to spill some tea. So
All
you might
right.
need I don't know if it's night, grab a cocktail or just, yeah. So,
You want to kick us off?
well, I don't even know where to start.
I
It feels
know,
like
it's
we've
a little
been
hard.
together forever now. I don't even know
It
where to.
Back at the beginning of time.
So when you were first born. No, that's way too far. In a previous life. Oh no, we're not going back that.
We will, but we will say there was something about each other that we know we have been together in a different lifetime.
Yes,
And-
several.
Yeah. We've been there for each other through lots of different things. So
yes.
so our initial meeting
I will
was
never
at a
forget it.
job interview. Okay, so I'm gonna back up and say what's really strange is our lives were like parallel to each other. Like,
But we didn't know that at the time.
We both have walked very similar paths. You know, we had careers and jobs, went to school for one thing, then we switched gears and we both went into education. We both went into education because we thought the system was broken and we didn't like how kids were treated when we were in school, and we wanted to change that. And so we both had that same drive and passion to do that. We both became teachers. Then we both became coaches and leaders in our districts. Then
reading specialists. We went
yes.
all the way through school. Master's degree.
Master's degrees, yeah. And then we ended up working in regional facilities for
Supporting lots of different school districts.
right,
Yeah.
doing professional development and training and educating educators, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so this one is always like she was very much shut down in gifts, and I forgot about mine. So I had deja vu amnesia about my gifts. And I'm sitting in an interview, and I empathically can feel energy from people. This one completely shut down, didn't want it. There were other extenuating. I'm like, wow, I don't know what I did to make her mad the minute I walked into this interview, but for whatever reason, and we were split in our job descriptions. Like, you were walking one path and I was walking another one. And you didn't talk to me for almost the first year that I was there. I was like, this is the hardest person I have ever had to read. I think I'm pretty good about reading energy and reading facial expressions and those kinds of things. But yeah, little did I know she was reading my whole life and going, oh my God, I do not have the energy for this one more time. I was going to shut it down because I'm not having it for one more time with this one. No. Yeah.
So my history and why I was kind of shut down, because I am empathic and I can read people
and psychic
and being psychic. Sometimes, in the work 9 to 5 kind of job, it's hard to juggle that and be open to all of that. So you have to kind of shut it down to appear normal, as normal as I can appear, I guess.
Why?
And so that's where my brain was at that time, right? Just try to be normal, and only do this kind of stuff, when you need to. So I would kind of open myself up a little bit to gauge a room, or when it comes in handy, I would open up for that. When there's other people that have those gifts, I first tend to be a little careful till I know them better. And then it's watch out, because, you're going to get it all because I can trust you. But yeah, to be fair, I had drawn people in that needed a lot of support, like emotional support and guidance.
Which I did.
And I had done that for years and years, and it was kind of burning me out. Like I, had a lot of health problems and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, right? Yeah, you had a lot going on at that time.
I did have a lot going on at that time.
While I felt it all, and I felt bad, I was also like, she is not ready to admit any of it, and I'm not getting involved in that until she comes to me and is like, yeah. So little bit by little bit, you'd be like, hey, I think this is going on.
So wait, we have to go. So we actually discovered that we would be more effective if we combined our powers at work.
Yeah.
In the two different silos that we were working in, and that's what really started it. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I think that you and I match on reading. I think I've listened to you talk about reading, and I feel like there's a really big connection with the reading. And I'm talking about not metaphysical reading. I'm talking about actual reading, specialist reading. Yeah. I think there's a lot of ways that we can connect and support support the schools that we're supporting in a more effective way if we combine our powers. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. How do we work out what each of us are supposed to be doing in our jobs separately, but without stepping on each other's toes?
Right, because we were.
Yeah. It would be hard sometimes,
even though we're both saying the same thing. I'm like, well, Stacy just told you that.
Yeah.
We'd be out in district. They'd actually, they played us against each other. Yeah. Or they tried to. Like, they'd pull her in and to do a workshop, and then they'd pull me in, and I'm like, well, and they are like, well, Stacy told us that already. I'm like, okay, well then.
Why did you?
Duh.
It was like they didn't like what I had to say, so they were hoping to get a different answer from you, and then you're like, no, that's I said the same thing, and then they're like, oh shoot, I guess that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. So then we became a stronger force at work, and started planning more things together, and that's when our metaphysical energies started to combine, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and I definitely it helped me open up to trust you, because like I didn't trust a lot of people with telling them what my gifts were for a long time, a lot of years.
Right. And I gave mine away for a lot of years. Like I used to have it and I said, hey, I think I used to be able to do that. Can you help me get back to that point? Sure, she said. Well, oh boy, what a journey that was.
Wasn't much of a journey. It was like, vroom.
Yeah.
As soon as she opened up got her to open up, it was.
Well, I had to get rid of some negative energy around me first, and then bring in. Yeah.
But you did it really quickly.
It did come flooding pretty quickly. Then.
So then we just had a conversation one day that I think you probably remember better than I do. But I kind of let it slip, like, oh yeah, I'm a medium. And I was kind of feeling her out to see, like how she was going to take that.
I'm like, wait, like a Long Island medium? That's so cool. I think I can finally like tell somebody that I've had premonition dreams, and I've had I'd tell people that, but this like somebody actually believed what I was saying. Yeah.
So then we were like, okay, well, we trusted each other with that secret. And so then we would kind of, read other people and be like, oh, this is the read I'm getting. And she'd be like, yeah, I'm getting this reading. And this is what the energy is like here or there with certain people. And then I had a girls' day one day where I invited some friends that I had trusted and knew that
and she was going to read them.
Yeah. Psychic medium. And they liked, we usually did something about once a year where we'd all get together.
Yeah.
And they enjoyed coming together, and they would, maybe do some cards, but then I would do readings for them.
And all of a sudden you started reading somebody, and I'm like, yeah, and this, yeah, and this, yeah, and this. And all of a sudden we were just like commingling energy, and you were getting readings one way, and I'm like, yeah, and there's a smell coming through, and everybody in the room's like, what are you two doing?
They really liked it, but yeah. So we do get our messages differently, and that's what's fun. Like when we do weekend expos or something, we'll go to like psychic fairs or health and wellness fairs, and kind of whatever, buy a table and offer shorter, cheaper readings for people there. They're always like, two of you, how does that work? And it's like, well, even though now that we've worked together for a number of years, we start to kind of tap into the other one's gifts and kind of use some of that now.
Yeah. Yes.
But initially,
yeah,
your strongest gifts came through
music and smells.
Yeah.
Like I would get music lyrics for, I still do. That's my jam.
or movie title. Movie.
Oh yeah, that has started coming through too, like movie titles. So yeah, my kids, I don't know. I've always been a music girl, and there's certain lyrics that will come through, and they'll just be on repeat when it's coming through. Or if she starts to pull something in, because you get.
I guess like my first is I just get hit with a feeling.
Yeah.
And a sense of, like the urgency, like if the person is seeking forgiveness, or if they're happy, or if they're sad, if they have a strong message to give, kind of their age, how they died, like those are the
she
first
starts
things
pulling
that
that
come
in
through.
because she can actually hear, like inside of her head, they talk to her, and she can kind of see, and we both kind of have a knowing that goes along with that. But when she starts to pull in an energy, I'm like, oh yeah, and this smell is coming through, and this song is coming through with this energy that she's pulling through. And sometimes when it's a really strong energy, you'll get hit and I'll get hit all at the same time. Sometimes when we're reading somebody, we get different energies that come through too. Like I get different smells that come through, and
it doesn't happen too often, but occasionally it will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. Like, if I am like, okay, it's grandpa, and they're like, oh, I lost both my grandpas, which one? So then while I'm trying to like pull out some
I'm
information
getting a really strong smell of grass. Like, did somebody like to cut the grass? Oh yeah, that's the grandpa that loved to be out on the lawnmower. And in fact, I used to ride on the lawnmower. Oh yeah, there it is. That's how. Yeah.
So sometimes I think our clients get whiplash because they're like, oh my gosh, like between the two of us, they're just like, what's she saying? Oh, what's she saying? And it's just like nonstop,
right?
Information coming through. Really.
Well, what is it? What is the saying? When two or more are gathered.
Oh yeah, it's just the exponential
energy that comes through
that we have. Yeah. So then we decided, hey, we should do this together
as a business for fun.
Yeah.
Because then we can spend even more time together.
Yeah. And so we've enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
Doing the readings for people.
Yeah. And
do Reiki.
We've evolved too. So one of the things which is so interesting, because when we first started putting this business together, you said, I don't know, I just feel like we're soul coaches, and we didn't really know what that was. And now we have totally stepped into that, because we were literacy coaches in the school world that we live in, and that coaching piece is just it's who we are. Like we, and so when we got to the coaching consciousness, we're like, oh, we need a brand, and that's really what we're doing. We're coaching consciousness into people, one soul at a time. Like that's really how that all came together. We started. People would go, what is this soul coach? And we kind of be like, well, we just go into coaching mode. So when we start to read something, it's like, okay, we're going to help. We'll ask you questions about what do you think your next step is? Even if it's just a quick little, okay, we're going to assign you some homework now. We kind of do that when we're doing quick readings, or when we do have clients that spend lots of time with us, and we soul coach them into living their best life, because that's what your guides want for you.
Yeah, and a lot of people started coming to us, and the information that we would give them, then they wanted more, and so they were really asking for what they wanted was that kind of that enlightenment, or that understanding of like, how do I know what my spirit guides want for me? How do I know what my next move is? How do I know if I can trust it or not? And so we just started coaching people on how to understand how their guides are talking to them.
Right.
And then
trust that. Yeah. And then once we added the Reiki piece, it was the healing, right? So it's like we've both had our own healing journeys, and we're never done. We're still on them. But we are both of the mindset, we pay it forward, right? So whatever we walk through, it's our job to help others with what we've gained in
Yeah,
our
we
knowledge.
take
So,
notes.
yeah, and,
Here's what we learned.
and both of us have walked some pretty hard paths. We've had some pretty extensive things that have come up, and for us it's like, okay, well, this is just another step in enlightenment, and that's how we're going to lift everyone up. We're just going to share our experiences, and this is how it works.
Yeah.
Wow, what an origin story. It's been
Yeah.
a trip, girl. I can't wait to see what the rest of it's going to be.
I know. There's great things coming.
Mhm.
And, we're glad you're here along for the ride. So
Woohoo!
thank you for joining us for our reflective rambling.
And our origin story.
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll try to, get to them and answer them. I don't know how quickly, but we'll look and try.
Right.
We do enjoy hearing from you.
And you can always book us for a reading or soul coaching
Oh,
or Reiki
absolutely.
or whatever it is that's calling to you.
Yeah, we love group events.
We do.
When, people get together. And
I
they're
don't
just
like
curious
planning
and
parties, just saying. So if someone else wants to plan it, I'm all about showing up and
We'll
doing
show up
readings.
and do some readings,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
some coaching.
Right.
Let you
Don't
know
ask me
how
to plan
things
it, though.
happen. Whatever your questions are.
I was
but,
not called to be a party planner. No.
No. No. And we do things via Zoom.
We do.
Because when
Mhm.
COVID hit with all that stuff too, it was like, oh, okay. So now we're doing things all over the U.S., like people
Right.
in different
Yeah.
states and
Mhm.
stuff. And so, and they're always like, does it work? And so, yeah, yeah, it works.
Spirit finds its way through technology sometimes faster than when
Oh
you
yeah,
try to do it
they could be in
face-to-face.
2 places at once. They're with us and they're with them in the other room. So yeah.
2, try 100.
True.
Yeah. All
So,
right.
okay.
Well, thanks for joining us. And we are the Enchanted Reading Specialist, and we are coaching consciousness.
One soul at a time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.